All right, good evening, everyone. And welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast, the hottest podcast here in the South Florida area of Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our podcast. We're going to be talking about the city of Deerfield Beach versus the Broward County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Dr. Gregory Toney. They had a big commission meeting last night up at Deerfield Beach City Hall, and it was standing room only. Standing room only. I can tell you, I was there. There wasn't an empty seat in the house. And if you'd like to get in on the dialogue, 754-227-1986, 754-227-1986. That is the Adams Brothers hotline. If you'd like to call in, when we tell you, not right now, don't call in right now, but when we tell you, because we are now streaming live on Facebook and YouTube Live, right here on your favorite podcast, the Adams Brothers Podcast. So let's chop it up. Come on in the room. Let's get busy. Like the Nutty Professor say, let's get busy.
And I wanted to say too, to anybody in the comment section or calling in, I want to say this, make this announcement. The views and opinions expressed in this chat or comment section are solely those of the author and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Adams Brothers Podcast. I have to make that known because last week we saw a lot of things.
Say
in
it
the
again.
chat,
Say it again one more time.
And I don't want to censor anyone. We never gonna censor anyone. I make that clear all the time. But I saw some things where I felt like I needed to say this, which you hear on TV shows. The views and opinions expressed in this chat or comment section are solely those of the author and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Adams Brothers Podcast. So if anybody coming on here talking about, well, y'all let them say this, no, that's them. If you got a problem with what they're saying, go talk to them. Don't come talk to us. I mean, it's I understand that, but whatever people put in the chat, they're responsible for it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and also, if you're saying something, if you're accusing someone of something, if you have a police report or a newspaper article that you know for a fact that's true, then share it with us. Put a link in the description for the people to go look at it, but you can't come on here and just start putting stuff in the chat that's not true about someone. Okay. So, we're not going to allow that to happen. This is not a slander podcast here.
No,
if you guys know us, we don't slander anyone. We are fair to each and every body that comes on here. If you are going to put any comments in our chat box down there in our little comment section, if you know for a fact that it's true, you have a police report or a newspaper article or a news article that was on the news, if you actually have the actual incident report, then you could say, okay, this is true, that happened. But you're not going to come on here once again before we start and just put whatever you want about a person that you don't like in the chat, and first of all, it's not going to get read.
No,
and we're asking you all not to nicely not to do that, and to be polite. If you know for a fact that it is a fact, then we have to, you have to verify this stuff before you start putting it in there, because that person can come after you. Okay. So be mindful of what you put in the chat. Make sure it's factual.
Yeah, we don't want to censor no one. We're not going to do that. And we like everyone to be engaged in the chat. Just try to be courteous. I mean, to everyone, whether you like that person or not. That's all. I live by that.
Right. So now that we put that disclaimer out there, and we've said, gave everybody, kind warning, friendly warning about being polite and what you put in the chat, and the facts. We're only interested in facts around here. So now
I mean, people's opinions are fine. I mean, they're
their opinion
accountable.
is fine, yeah.
You
but,
know, I don't want to, just
you
try to
know,
be nice to people. That's all.
yeah, exactly. You know, if you got an order again, no, I'm not even gonna go through that anymore. Let's talk about the city of Deerfield Beach versus the Broward County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Dr. Gregory Tony. Of course, him and his administrative team, they're in a dispute with the city of Deerfield Beach about the contract. For 35 years, the city of Deerfield Beach has had a contract with the Broward County Sheriff's Office, right? And clearly it states in the contract that the sheriff office, they have an agreement that they can only increase their budgets by 5%. So the sheriff's office, the Broward County Sheriff's Office, sent us, the city of Deerfield Beach, a inflated, an increase that was more than what was allowed into the contract. And the city of Deerfield Beach, asks them to abide by the contract, and the sheriff wants to give the firefighters and all of the first responders, the police officers, a raise, which they'll do. They work hard and they put their lives on the line. Nobody is, I don't think anybody is against law enforcement and fire getting a raise and being paid equal to what neighboring cities and counties around us are paying their employees. I don't think that's a problem. But the city of Deerfield Beach is standing firm on the Broward County Sheriff's Office standing, abiding by their contract, which only allows them to ask for a 5% per year increase. So that's when the sheriff, sent the city of Deerfield Beach letter of notice putting them on notice that the services, police and fire services, will be terminated as of I believe it was that date back in June or April or whenever that was, and it will take effect in September. And then there's a 2-year transition period from this is 2025, 26, and 27. Okay. So there's a 2-year grace period that they have a transition period that they still have to provide police and fire services to Deerfield Beach. And the mayor, the commissioner, and the city manager is standing firm. They're not budging off of that 5%. And they were pretty much asking the sheriff, could they find the money? Could they cut it out of their budget to give them a raise? Find it in their budget. So it's a lot of back and forth. It's been in the media. Pretty much asking the sheriff, could their budget to give them a raise? You playing it? Find it in their budget.
I mean, I didn't mean
so it's a lot of back and forth. It's been in the media. Pretty much asking the
Can you hear?
Could their budget to give them a raise? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth, and the city of Deerfield Beach is standing firm on not going over that 5% cap. And it's been a lot of media releases, press releases. The city of Deerfield Beach had 1 or 2, and Sheriff Dr. Tony put out some videos with some strong language, and he's been active on their social media platforms. And it's the town of Pembroke Park, I believe it is, also put out. They held a press release, addressing some of the comments that Sheriff Dr. Tony, Greg Tony, had made. So it's been a mess, going back and forth, and everybody is telling both sides to, de-escalate. Police officers trained in de-escalation, let's de-escalate a little bit. Let's bring lower the temperature here in the room, and take a break, take a deep breath, and let's get back to the negotiating table, without all the strong language, and let's negotiate like professional men and women, and let's get something done here so we can continue the good service that we've been getting. So that's where we're at. No contract has been signed. There's been rumors that the city of Deerfield Beach, the sheriff said it, that he thinks that the city of Deerfield Beach and Rodney Brimlow wants to go. The city manager, Rodney Brimlow, wants to go back and form their own city of Deerfield Beach police and fire departments. So that's been the rumor. Nothing is, it's all preliminary. Did I say that right?
Yeah, preliminary, yeah.
I think I got a little tongue tied there. But it's premature at this moment because they haven't seen the numbers.
No.
They haven't seen the numbers. They haven't crunched the numbers. And until you can say, oh, yeah, well, we're going to go back to the Deerfield Beach Police Department or the fire department, you have to have a study done. Okay, and you have to have a study, and you got to look at the numbers. If the numbers that to form your own police department is astronomical, and that you got to raise taxes and the ad valorem taxes and the fire assessment fees and all of these things, every kind of fee you could name around here just to get it going off of, going again, it's not going to work for us taxpayers. We can't take a hit like that financially in our pockets. So, that's where we're at right now. There's a lot of rumors going around. Nobody has
a lot of emotions.
The emotions are high, and the city of Deerfield Beach is standing firm. Each one of those commissioners had a prepared statement that they read. The mayor spoke. I don't think he had a prepared statement. He just spoke from his heart, and I think Vice Mayor Ben Preston did also.
We'll play that. We got that. We'll play.
Wayne is going to play the audio. We're trying to pull the video up from YouTube here. So we're still learning this thing over here. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Well, we played the video last week, but it was a different way. But Wayne has the audio queued up, and then I'll let Wayne.
I'm gonna start with Vice Mayor Ben Preston. This is what the Vice Mayor said, and I'm going to play that right now.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Obviously, a lot of people right now are really challenged with what's going on, and everybody's got feelings about it.
Can you all hear the audio?
They have their personal feelings. And the thing that I would say is, first and foremost, all emotions associated to this conversation, it has to be eliminated. And in order for us to have a civil conversation, emotion has to be taken out of it. Other than that, it will be filled with emotions, and you don't want any of your public officials making decisions that will affect you based on emotions. So with that, I believe that the city administration staff and BSO both must be combined in making a commitment to Deerfield Beach residents to find a solution to all contract-related issues. BSO has a commitment to serve its residents, the residents of this city, just as city admin, the city manager, and staff. So you have to align yourself on that. Not BSO command staff, nor city administration, but the residents of Deerfield Beach must come first. And as far as I'm concerned, there is but one pertinent question, and that is, how will BSO and the city of Deerfield Beach best serve our city when it comes to fire and police protection? And to answer that question, you, the resident, the people that care, the people that live in the city, you, the resident, must understand all of the information that comes your way. That information needs to be analyzed. You must really know what's going on, know what is happening, so that you can talk to your officials and tell them to make an informed decision on your behalf. But I'm going to just tell you, the residents of Deerfield Beach, you do not want to compromise on life safety. From the BSO side, and from the fire side, you do not want to compromise on life safety. You have a class 1 fire department, and I will tell you, you get good service. Everybody rants and raves about it. But there's a reason why you get that good service. It's because you have men and women on the top of their game. And that is not at all should ever be compromised. The reason that Deerfield Beach has run the way it has with police and fire is because the right people are in place. You do not want to at any time compromise that safety. I agree with the comp and pay study that was conducted because it allows you to see where your people are. In order to continue the services that everybody basically takes for granted, you got to pay the people. So if it's from the city of Deerfield Beach or from BSO, you, the public, you got to pay for it. Because if you compromise it, you won't get the service that you are now taking for granted. So it's important to realize what you have, how it's benefiting you, and not take it for granted. And so I will say that negotiations still must go on in this very heated and challenged climate. We still got to be committed to get it done for the residents of this city. And whatever it is that BSO, I mean, if we're talking about getting to the cap, and we're being told we can't get under that cap, we have to keep negotiating and meet somewhere because all of us are obligated to do this. This is not about emotions. And we're talking about a fire department that could be, taken over, taken back because we actually had it before in police as well. We're talking about the reality that that could happen. Do we know what that would cost? No, we don't. Do we know all the logistics involved with that? No, we don't. I'm going to tell you, and it's my opinion, that we should do a feasibility and financial study and that's what I would ask my colleagues to do, of what it would take to restart your own fire department or your own police department. The people that are delivering the services now are doing a great job, as my colleague said. But down the road, it may be the cheaper way to go. It might be the thing to do, but not right now. Because this city, it would be a tremendous undertaking for this city financially. The burden that will be levied ultimately to the taxpayers would basically be too much. Don't make decisions based on emotions. What we have to do is look at the data. What does it say of resuming our fire department and the police department in that responsibility role? What would it take? And then you make the decision. It may be that we want to do that at some point, but you got to know when the right time is to do that. And you can't do that without knowing exactly what the numbers are. And that there's nobody that can tell me exactly what those numbers are.
Right.
So you need to get that type of information, put it in place so that whatever decision that comes from this dais comes in an informed way. Thank you, Mayor.
And he is right about that. You have to have numbers that's been already that's been crunched 5 or 6 times.
Okay, I think issue resolved. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the August 5th, 2025 regular city commission meeting for the city of Deerfield Beach. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Hudak,
Playing Drosky
Commissioner
right
Ploutz?
now.
Here.
Commissioner Shanetsky,
Here.
Vice Mayor Preston.
Here.
Mayor Drosky.
If everyone would please stand for a moment.
That's not
silence
what
in
we
the
want to
Pledge of
play. It's
Allegiance.
still playing.
Vice Mayor, would you mind leading us in the pledge this evening?
Yeah. Okay. So I forgot what I was saying. But again, that was last night, and that was Commissioner Ben Preston, Vice Mayor Ben Preston. And you have to look at the numbers. Okay. You have to look at the numbers. You can't make a decision even if you want to go back to the Deerfield Beach Police Department. You have to look at the numbers. Okay. You have to look at the number. So there's going to be a study done. I'm sure it's going to be a study done somewhere, just like the city of Pompano is
Hope
doing.
everyone's having a good summer so far. School starts next week, but
Check that
we'll
up
talk about that a little bit later.
What's that?
We have approval of the city commission minutes for the July 8th.
See, that is what's playing. You're looking, that's the meeting there.
Okay, that's the meeting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to show it.
Well, it's showing.
It's showing.
playing.
Is it showing on the screen?
It's showing right there. Well, it's not showing on the screen.
It's not showing
but
on our screen, but
but,
yeah, well,
yeah.
we could.
You could play it from there because
Yeah,
that's
I
what
could
it's
play
showing.
it from there.
Yeah.
But I was trying to share it. Did you guys see that video just now on our screen just now? I don't think they saw it.
Yeah, I don't.
but-
I think we saw it on our end. I know we heard it because I'm like,
Yeah,
I know
we
I'm not
heard it.
playing the video no more. I mean, we got a lot of equipment over here.
Well, what's
but-
your next stopping point? I could go
okay,
to it.
I can send you to the next stopping point.
That was Ben Preston just now.
1 hour and 103. That'll be the mail. 103.05.
103.05. Okay,
Yes.
so we're getting ready to go to Mayor Drosky. This is Mayor Todd Drosky.
Received from them from May 1st. So the likely total will be 35.3
Well, how
million.
do they go back there? All right, give us a little second here, people. We're dealing with a little.
This is the quickest way to clear out.
Just go ahead and pull it up on your phone over there. We're trying to experiment with something new here, so we can show you the video at the same time, so you could look at it. But it's the operator here. It's me, so I take full responsibility for that. I'll make sure I have it for you the next time we go live. But we can play the audio for right now. Through the Valley said no, we didn't see it, but we heard it. Okay. So Wayne is going to cue it up. So the city of Pompano is doing their due diligence right now. They're doing a study to see how much it would cost to start up their own police department again, to bring back the Pompano Beach Police Department, or maybe a regional police department. And not only that, Pompano Beach still owns their own fire department. They never went with BSO. They have their own fire department, the City of Pompano Beach Fire Department. So it would be easier for Pompano to go back and do that. It would cost them a lot less money because they still operated out of their fire department, firehouses, the buildings. They still own all of their buildings like Deerfield.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have to just build a public safety complex somewhere, build a police department. And
Okay,
then,
I'm ready.
And so it'll be a little bit easier for Pompano. Deerfield we have to start over from scratch. So we're gonna pick it up here with who? Go ahead, Wayne.
This is Deerfield Beach Mayor Todd Drosky coming down from off the dais, and he's coming to the podium. He said this was his first time ever coming down to address the public or the commission.
I've sat on this dais for over the last 8 years. I have not once, never stepped down to this microphone to speak before. It is that important that I come down here tonight to talk to you, the residents, and you, the first responders, to address this situation. First and foremost, to my residents here in the city of Deerfield Beach, this is not a fight that we picked. This is not something that we asked for. We had a legally binding contract with the sheriff's office. It was the sheriff who unilaterally terminated our contract, effective the end of September. But I want you to know that no matter what happens, come October 1st, you will not see any change in the service that you get. The men and women who provide the fire and the police services will continue to do the great job that they do here in the city of Deerfield Beach. I am confident of that, and that will not change no matter what happens going forward. So know that the representatives that you have on this dais are representing you. They're representing your best interests. They're representing your pocketbooks. And we will uphold the oath that we took to zealously fight for you going forward, day in and day out, including the situation that we have with the Broward Sheriff's Office. To you, the first responders and the command staff that is here, I have nothing but the utmost respect for the job that you do and provide for us here in the city of Deerfield Beach. This is not your fight. I reckon this is more close to a divorce, and you are the children caught between the feuding parents. It is not your fault. You're caught in the middle of this, and that's very shameful, and I feel for you because you have families as well. When you wake up in the morning and put on that uniform, there is no guarantee you're coming home at night. And that is something that I understand and respect, and it is beyond admirable that you do that for us every single day here in the city of Deerfield Beach. But we are where we are right now because during the last week, I have been called corrupt and I have been called unethical by your boss. That is not only despicable, but it's shameful. Let me put it to you this way. The sheriff's office is a vendor of the city of Deerfield Beach. You provide a service to us. Let's pretend you have your own business and you're looking to do business with somebody else. And that somebody else says, you're corrupt and you're unethical. What is the possibility that you're going to do business with that person? Would you do it? Would you really do it? Think about it. Would you do that? Would you go into business with somebody calling you corrupt and unethical, amongst other things, on a daily basis? That's where we are. So let me be very clear. Deerfield Beach has options. We are in a unique position from our sister cities. We have options going forward, and we will move forward, and we will utilize those options. Now, however, today I've been advised that BSO is going to actually be presenting us with a new contract and an olive branch to go forward. And it's that same oath that I took before to protect the city of Deerfield Beach and its residents, that we must be transparent in everything that we do. We must evaluate the contract. We must evaluate the options to go it alone. But the only way to do that is to have a workshop or a meeting in the public where all options are presented to us, that we know the cost of what it's going to take going forward. Is it better to go it alone? Is it better to stay with the sheriff's office? Or is there another option that is out there? We cannot make this decision, and we will not make this decision on the fly. We are going to use facts and figures as we move forward. We are not going to make this decision based upon emotion only. So while it's painful to be called these things every day, and it certainly hurts the relationship that we have, it hasn't terminated that relationship as far as I'm concerned, but it has on paper. The sheriff has terminated the relationship on paper, and I want you to understand that there is no contract with the city of Deerfield Beach today. So I want you all to understand, I appreciate everybody's patience and you all coming out and all the uncertainty, and we all want to know what's going to go forward and what's going to happen. But I can guarantee you that at the end of the day, the people that I represent, the people that I have been elected to represent, your will prevail at the end of the day. Thank you.
And that was well said by Mayor Todd Drosky. And you could see that they are standing 10 toes down with their decision about the 5%. I can understand that because I just got my tax bill today.
Me too.
I just got it in the mail today and it went up $75. Just imagine what it will go up if we, give them the 10%, 10.7%. If we give them a 10.7% increase that they're asking for the firefighters and the police. And another thing, this is what I mean. I worked for government for 30 something years of my life. Okay, and if you work for the government, you will understand that what I'm about to say. If you work for the government, you get yearly increases. Okay, you get an evaluation, you get a yearly evaluation. And if you pass that evaluation satisfactory, you you get a satisfactory evaluation, you will then get that merit increase. Okay. But we don't get it all at one lump sum. They give it to us in little dribs and drabs. You know, they give it to you 3% here, 3%, 3%. It may take you 12 to 15 years to reach that top pay. It may take you that long to get to that top pay. They don't give it to you all at once. So it's a small hit, and it's spread out over many years. But I can understand what the city of Deerfield is saying, because if you come in and you ask for that big increase, that's a lot of money you have to come up with in 1 year, in one budget year. And who's to say that you won't come back again the next year and say the same thing? So I understand it. And I understand that, the commissioners and the vice mayor and the mayor and the city manager, they're looking out for the taxpayers here in Deerfield, and I appreciate that. I do. But if they go back to the services of Deerfield Beach Fire Department and Police Department, what will we get?
I got one more video I want to play, and then after I play that video, Ms. Portier, please call in. I see you said
Somebody
you
called in just now, but we're discussing right now. We're going to take calls in a little bit.
I'm going to play this video of former Mayor Commissioner Peggy Nolan, and then Ms. Portier, please call in. I'm going to play that right now. This is going to be former Deerfield Beach Mayor and Commissioner Peggy Nolan, who, may I say, they are honoring naming the pool after her this Saturday, I believe at 9 or 10 o'clock at the Aquatic Center at the middle school. So this is former Mayor Commissioner Peggy Nolan.
Jonathan Onyegan.
Jensen, you'll be on deck.
Listen to what Ms. Nolan has to say. This
Welcome,
is
Mayor.
very
Thank you.
important, I
Peggy
think.
Nolan, 325 Southeast 3rd Terrace, Deerfield Beach. I wasn't going to get up and talk. I was going to talk about another issue that's coming up, but that's all right. I just want to thank you all for saying how everything needs to calm down and tempers have to subside. You're the bigger part of this, and I want to thank you all for everything you're doing. My only suggestion is I would hope that you hired someone like Pompano Beach is hired to do a survey on what it would cost to bring the Deerfield Fire back or the Deerfield Police. So you have apples to apples. You'd be able to compare, because I think you're going to find that the cost would be astronomical. Because there's so many facets to bringing that many people back into our community. I don't know the answer, and I'm sure there's nobody here at the city that can figure that out. You'd have to hire a firm like Pompano Beach. And if this is the avenue, like you even said that, Commissioner, you can't make an honest decision without having your facts. So I praise you all. I really do. Thank you for being here, and thank you for caring about the citizens of Deerfield Beach, because we all love our firefighters and our police officers, and they're very important to all of us. Especially when you get old. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for keeping the temperature cool.
And
Surgeon, come on down. And who's on deck, Madam Clerk?
And I think everyone should really listen to what former Mayor Peggy Nolan said. It's not as simple as everyone thinks that it is. Ms. Portier, if you can call in now, we would love to hear
Was
from
that
you.
her calling in?
It might have been. I
Somebody
know
was
I
calling
said.
in just now.
I think it probably was Ms. Terrell.
Whoever was calling in just a few minutes ago, you can go ahead and call in. You can go ahead and call back in.
But everyone just need to just sit back and cool down, because everybody's so gung-ho happy. Look, the sheriff said what he had. He said what he felt he had to say. He said it. Whether you agree with him or not, I hear everyone. Okay, we're going to take this call and then I'll finish my commentary.
Call from Tara Portier. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hello, Ms. Portier, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for taking my call. I just had a really quick question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted to know if you guys knew what the mayor meant when he said, because he said it last night, and then when he said it last night, I was like, my antennas kind of went up, and then I just heard it again when he said that that told us, don't worry, we have options thanks to our sister cities. Do you guys know what he means by that? So do you think maybe that Deerfield is in talks with cities like Pompano or maybe Coconut Creek or other cities about partnering with them?
I
Because
think
when
so.
he said that last night, my antennas went up.
Yep.
It could be.
Everybody said the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
I mean, he said it. It came right out of his mouth. So I would think too. My antenna went up when he said that last night to Miss 410. I agree with you. That is the first thing that I thought that they're looking at. And I mean, we heard people like Dan Hertz. We heard other people in the comments put comments in there saying about a regional police. So I would not. I would say that they're probably looking at all options. What they're going to move forward with in the future.
They definitely have a lot of options. We don't know that for sure, but when you hear people speak like that, and you heard the sheriff, Dr. Gregory Tony said that, he flat out said it. They want to form their own police department and fire department. Now, no one has told us this, but there's rumors are flying, and there's indicators being pointed. I mean, a blind man could see some of the indicators. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they do have options with neighboring cities. We don't know that, but you still have to do a study and look at the numbers. You can't make a knee-jerk decision on off of emotions and without doing your homework. So to answer your question, yeah, it was a little red flag when he said that last night, and I'm sure you and us as podcasters over here, we caught it as well.
Yep, I definitely caught it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I heard what I heard.
Yes,
because my
you heard what
antennas
you heard.
Definitely went up when he said that, and I was like, whoa, okay, so sounds like they're already having conversations with other cities about what to do moving forward. So okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard what I heard. Thank y'all so much for clarifying.
You're welcome.
So
And what before we let you go, what are your thoughts on
That's
that?
what I was going to
Do you think we should go back to Deerfield Beach Police Department
And how do you
fire
feel about
department? And how do you feel? Do you feel safer with BSO, or would you feel safer with the newly formed and newly improved City of Deerfield Beach Police Department, whatever that's going to look like?
That's kind of a loaded question, because as a Black person, it's hard to say that you feel safe with any law enforcement agency. But what I can say is that I'm, Deerfield through and through, lived here all my life. And I remember when Deerfield had its own police department, and there were some issues there. And there are some issues with BSO. I feel the way that Vice Mayor Ben Preston feels, and what he said last night was spot on.
Yep.
If you all are going to do what you're going to do, because at the end of the day, guys, the city has already decided what they're going to do.
Yes, they did.
They're going to put on a dog and pony show, but they have decided what they're going to do. And what makes me think that is the statement that the mayor made last night when he says, don't worry, you have options. We have options. Thanks to our sister cities, we have options. So that lets me know right now, right there, that conversations, dialogue has already been had about moving forward. Now, do I think it's wise for them to do that? No, I don't, because I also believe, and I agree with former Mayor Peggy Nolan, you need to do a financial assessment.
Yes.
You have to do a financial assessment. And just like you guys said that, Pompano, if they decide to do what they're going to do, they're only transitioning law enforcement only. They don't have the issue with firefighters, right? So the financial responsibility, the financial cost, and the financial hit is not nearly going to be as much for them as it would be for the city of Deerfield, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, and then you also have to take into account the cost of living, the hit here for cost of living, the homeless population here. Like people are already losing their houses because they can't afford their property taxes.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about raising because the taxpayers are going to pay for that. Bottom
Ultimately,
line.
yes, you're right.
The taxpayers are going to pay. The money is not going to fall out of the sky, you know. And just like the guy said last night, there's not enough choir concerts in the world. The guy that referenced Sister Act, I don't know if you heard him, Daryl, like, why don't you guys, to raise money or whatever. There's not enough fundraisers you can do to raise the money that they would need to bring back a law enforcement agency and a fire department. You're talking about rebranding.
Yes.
You're talking about rebranding. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're talking about training. You're talking about equipment. You're talking about vehicles. You're talking about academy. You have to pay for all that stuff.
Right.
People not thinking
You're
about
talking
that, Miss
about-
Tara.
You-
They're running off of their emotions right now, and they're upset. Like our friend in Pompano, Sarah Peterson, always says, feelings not factual, So I understand a lot of feelings was hurt. I understand what the sheriff said. He called them corrupt. But I'm quite sure Sheriff Tony is not the only one that have called those commissioners up there corrupt. I see it called for the last probably 7 or 8 years. So I don't think your feelings can be hurt too much more than that. And I see it happen all the time. I mean, almost at every meeting or on those other websites, I see it done. And look, if they really, for the taxpayers, do what Commissioner Vice Mayor Ben Preston said and what former Mayor and Commissioner Peggy Nolan said, I think that, like you said too, Ms. Fortier, do a study, do a real study and be very transparent with that study when you do it.
Right. Do a fiscal assessment and bring those numbers to the community.
That's
Because at the end of the day, the community is going to have to pay, because the law enforcement agency and the fire department is for the community. The community is always paid because they're expected to pay, because that's who the law enforcement agency is serving. They're serving the community. And what's going to happen is that they need to take a step back, because when you do business before you do service, your house gonna fail every time. They have lost sight of the fact that this is about serving the community.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about. And everybody needs to get their ego out the room, because
Yes.
there's a lot of ego in the room. That was evident last night.
Mhm.
But I do have to say I was very disappointed that neither City Manager Brimlow or Sheriff Dr. Tony showed up last night. I was very disappointed in that. But then I get it, because emotions are high, and it's obvious that there are people that are having problems controlling their emotions.
Right.
So I kind of get it, but still, you cannot avoid having this conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping that as well. I was hoping that the sheriff would have, just shown up last night, and maybe they could have, shook hands and hugged or whatever, and say, "Hey, man,
That's never gonna happen.
I don't think it'll ever happen." But I was hoping. There's always hope,
Always.
So I was hoping that would happen last night. It didn't happen. I did see the undersheriff there,
Nicole.
I forget her last
Very
name.
nice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Anderson?
she was there.
Yes, I talked to
Nicole
her.
Anderson,
She was
very
sitting in the
nice.
back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
she was sitting in the back.
Right.
But it was just I just listened. I listened to the mayor last night very closely, and I'm a words person. And when I heard
Mhm.
him say, "I need for you all to understand, there is no contract. There is no contract. Don't worry, we have options.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to our sister city, we have that told a story. That said,
Oh, it
a lot.
did.
Right.
And
that was huge.
I got a
You know,
text
and
time that
I
happened.
saw you. I was sitting right behind you, the row behind you, and you saw me. I saw you, and I was like, every time, when I'm a listener too, and I heard them, when I'm like, when I hear these, these are like little red flags go off in my head, and then I jot down whatever I heard on my little tablet there, and I'm like, this is, I know I'm not the brightest bulb in the room here, but I didn't miss it. I can tell you that.
I got text right away. Right away. Right
Yeah.
away.
So there have been conversations already had about moving in whatever direction, but I just really hope that they're going to be very responsible
And transparent.
with our safety.
And transparent
with
as
our
well.
safety.
And not have
Yeah.
meetings
Yeah.
outside, of the public, eyes and
Yeah.
whatever they have, whatever numbers they come up with, they should bring it to the public, because like you said, we're ultimately are going to be the ones that's going to have to pay for this. This is coming out of our pockets. Our taxes is going to go up. Our fire assessment is going to go up. Our ad valorem taxes is going to go up. And who knows, God knows what else is going to go up, but it's going to go up, I just got a little 3% or whatever it was, a 3% raise on my check for the first time in 7 or 8 years, and that's gone already.
I want to say one thing too,
Yeah.
Ms. Portier, before you go off. I'm reading from CBS 4, WFOR 4 in Miami, and it said, commissioners, however, have resisted the increase, and on Tuesday took another step towards a possible separation by voting on an ordinance to place police and fire under the Florida retirement system. That right there alone tells me that they have moved in that direction to and I hear what they're saying, and that's politically expedient to say, but that when I saw that on the agenda too, and I saw CBS 4, that's very telling to me about placing the police and fire under the Florida retirement system.
A lot of those things are hidden into the ordinances. You have to read it very carefully and you have to pay attention. So and that's not here, just here. That's all of these city commission meetings and the things that they're going to vote in. They always just slip something in there where you don't really know exactly what it is, but it's slipped in there. And if you don't catch it, you have to be a reader and you have to be, paying attention. But if you look at item, I believe it's item number 7 and 8. I believe it was 7 and 8, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think 7 and 8 was 7 and 8 was like the rezoning for. There was a contractor that wanted the rezoning.
Okay, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I have that.
One was they was going for equipment. It said something about equipment on the agenda. That $5 million, I believe it was, that raised another antennas. But I mean, I hear what they're saying. I mean, I think Ms. Portier, they're heading towards separation. From the
and we have to be fair, and we need to be fair to BSO as well, because it is also a true thing that BSO is responsible for giving their employees their raises, right? You work for the city. You don't expect anybody else outside of the city to give you your raise. You expect the city to give you your raise, right? Because that's who employs you.
Right.
So, in all fairness, when you start talking about funding and budget, it's okay to ask, what's going on with BSO's budget as well, where if their firefighters and their police officers need raises, and listen, they do, because the economy in Broward County is crazy. I don't even know why people keep moving here, because I don't know how they can afford to live here. The cost of living is insane. So I understand people needing cost of living increases and raises. I get it. I don't deny anybody that. But my thing is, what's going on with BSO's budget? Why is the city of Deerfield being required to foot that bill?
Yeah.
What's going on with their budget? Let's talk about that as well. Why is that all being laid on the city of Deerfield Beach's lap?
Right. And I think that's
where's that conversation?
Yeah. And I think that's what really caused the chain of reaction when he sent that letter of termination. I mean, I think prior, this just me in theory, I think the city of Deerfield Beach probably was looking at and nothing wrong with it, probably going back to their own, looking at, but I think he escalated when he sent that letter of termination. I think that just kind of escalated things, and and then with all the the back and forth talk between Tony and the city was doing their own press releases. I hear the mayor say about divorce. Well, one thing I know, I seen people divorce and remarry again. I seen people fight, go to jail, and they're right back together with each other. So I know he was using those terms, but I think it's a chance here for us to make things right here. Like you said earlier, let's take these feelings, take the emotions out. I mean, the people elected up there were put here not for their own personal feelings to get in the way, but to look at things in a totality. And my prayers is that moving forward, that they continue to move in that direction with the mind of the taxpayers. Because I say this, Ms. Porter, I can see people always talk about savings, and I'm going to talk about that when we get off of this call. People always talk about savings, but how long will those savings last? And will those savings be 2-3 years? Because it's always sweet at first, and then the people that's doing all this, they're not here like me, you, and Daryl. At some point they're gonna retire or whatever, and they're gonna leave, and we're gonna be here stuck to pay for this bill.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I just wanted to say. That I'll
And
leave the further part to my other commentary later.
Before we let you go, Jamar, I want to read this ordinance to you. Ordinance 2025, and you have to pay attention to the wording. And I know you caught this. I know you're sharp as a razor, so I know you caught it. An ordinance of the city, a commission of the city of Deerfield Beach, Florida, relating to membership in the Florida Retirement System, FRS, declaring the intent to extend to the police officers of the city the benefits of the Florida Retirement System as of October 1, 2025, specifying the employees are eligible for participation in the FRS, approving and authorizing execution of an agreement with the Division of Retirement and participation in the FRS, providing for implementation, severability, conflicts, and an effective date.
What I just said earlier.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's
So
right here in the
why is
ordinance.
that
It's right here. I have the ordinance.
Yeah. So that's very telling, and it's like, wow, like why is that even up for discussion? FRS is state, like that's state. That's state, that's government. Like, so why is that even up for discussion when you're talking about fire rescue and law enforcement? So has a decision already been made?
Right.
If you're already voting on that, if that's on the agenda?
Right. And and it's right there in black and white. A wise man once told me, he said, you see these this white page here, these black letters won't mean nothing. This white page won't mean nothing without these black letters on there. So it's right there. I mean, you could see it. Is it an indicator? Maybe.
So, yeah.
Could be.
That's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very but when you were saying that, so you think that this was already an idea before Tony sent that letter? You think they were already wanting to go in this direction?
Well, the contract
was just kind of like gave him an excuse to say, okay, hey, we've already been discussing it. Nobody knows we've been discussing it, but we've already been discussing it. This is the kind of where we wanted to go, and he kind of like helped us gave us an out. Do you think that's maybe?
I believe so, and maybe it was a no. I'm not saying it was nothing sinister, because I heard ex-mayor Bill Gans got up there and say he had heard of talk of conspiracies, and this was done. This was being put together when Mr. Brimlow first got the job in 2021, and when he was put in as city manager. He was put in 2021 as the public safety director, and he was put in earlier this year, and I believe January, February, or whenever that was, he was installed as city manager. But I think, and I say this, Ms. Portier, The contract was scheduled to end in March of 2026.
Anyways,
I believe well before any of this rhetoric from whatever, whoever, Tony or whatever, I believe that Deerfield Beach kind of had an idea that maybe they wanted to take a look at it. And that's okay to say. Okay. But I think when, as one person told me yesterday, when the sheriff wrote that letter, or his general counsel wrote that letter, a letter of termination, basically, that person told me, say, Sheriff Tony gave them the bullets to put in the gun to shoot at him. And that was very interesting coming from someone that we were having a conversation, and you know, when you think about it, that could be, but I believe, and maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, this is just my opinion up here, just a theory, that I believe they were gonna go back all the time in March of 2026, because I say that because we look where we are now. We started negotiation back in April. The contract was gonna go out in March. And I think we kind of waited and kind of kept moving. And I don't know that I'm not saying nothing. This is nothing against no one, but I just think usually when a contract of that magnitude comes up in importance, even in the NFL, you look at the players, they be on their last year, but they come into camp and you hear them on TV saying, I want a new contract right away with guarantees. And I just think that all of that would have been done prior. But if they wanted to go back to their own police force, I just think, just come out and say it. You know, even when Tony was doing all the talking, just come out and say, hey, look, we want to take a study and we want to go back. We want to take a look at going back. We don't know one way or the other, but we're going to take a look and do a study at bringing our own police department.
And it's all right to look at the numbers. I'm a numbers man. I like numbers. If you want to go, if you want to do that, then you do a study and you take a long, hard look at those numbers, and you got to factor in the helicopter and the BSO crime lab, and then everybody you arrest, you got to take them down to the county jail to be processed, and they have to house them.
Units,
the specialized units and everything. You have to factor in all of these things in making your decision
to bring your
own police department
You gotta
back.
have a 911 dispatch unit.
Right.
You gotta have you gotta have a human resources. You gotta have you have to have what's the unit when you're filing complaints?
Internal affairs.
Internal affairs, human resources, dispatch, right?
Well, they have human resources already. That was all in one. They handle police and fire.
You have to have SBU, homicide.
That's going to cost money, Ms. Portier.
That costs money.
Yes, and that cost is going to escalate.
Yeah, because those crimes have to be investigated by skilled, experienced detectives,
yes,
right? And then you got road patrol officers, right? And so you got Alpha shift, you got Charlie shift, you got Bravo shift, right? So you have it's just like it's a beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
It's a lot of money.
Huge undertaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast. It really is. But I really just hope that they really can come to some type of consensus. I really just hope that the egos can leave the room, and that all of these gentlemen wake up one morning with a changed heart and be like, you know what? We need to come together, sit down and have a conversation for the betterment of the people and the betterment of the city, and just talk this thing out, because it's better to just go with what you have now, resolve it, than trying to rebuild something that is not, you don't necessarily need to rebuild. Right. You just need to fix what you already have.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And agree. That's my assessment to the whole thing moving forward.
Right.
Like I say, when I let Daryl talk, I want to get about 5 minutes after to give my really true thoughts.
Yeah,
on
well,
this.
that's all I had to say there, Ms. Portier, and they're gonna do what they want to do anyways. No matter, we can sit here and talk about this all night, but if the city of Deerfield Beach,
Yep.
mayor, vice mayor, and commissioners and city manager has already, it's in their head that they can probably do better, and they're gonna look at the numbers. I'm sure they're gonna look at the numbers 10 or 15 times. But I just hope that, if they're going to go that way, that they make the right decision and it doesn't hurt our pockets, because like my brother just said, ultimately, we are the ones that's going to have to pay for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you all for taking my call. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're always welcome on this podcast. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You
You
as
too.
well.
And John Slattery said in the comments, he said, and all the ongoing costs for employee health insurance and retirement. Yes, that's the part. But let me say this. And I wanted to say this, and like I say, I haven't did too much talking here today. I go back to around 1989, maybe 1990, whenever they voted to go
The BSO?
to BSO. I was there as a young 24-year-old young man. I was there. And I don't know how many people that have spoken last night at the meeting or whatever have gave their opinion, but I was there. I was there at that meeting. I was in the back with the police at the time, the Deerfield Beach Police. I was back there with Detective James Young. I was back there with Detective Andrew Giannino, who worked on my sister's murder
Joe
case.
Graham?
I was back there. Joe Graham wasn't there. I'm just saying who I was back there with that night when that went on. I was back there with, I believe he was a captain, Jafrida. His wife, Miss Jafrida, was my teacher at Deerfield Beach Elementary. I remember, I think his name was Richard Jafrida. I remember talking with Jafrida, and I can go back and I can remember that day like it was yesterday. And we were in the back, and they were telling me all that was wrong with the Deerfield Police at that time. And I'm not up here speaking feelings right now. I'm telling you what I saw. And they were telling me everything we would get. The resources we would be getting with Deerfield going to BSO. Again, I was back there in the back with them. The PBA, the Police Benevolent Association, they were back there, and I was glad for them. But I saw that, and I was there that night. Mayor Gene Robb, I'm gonna call some names. I have a pretty good, decent memory at 58. Gene Robb was the mayor, and if I remember right, it was Commissioner Joe Trachtenberg from Century Village. And if I remember right again, it was Commissioner Ben Budd from Century Village. And if I remember right, it might have been Dr. Ernie Visco, or either Al Capolini, who was there in that District 1 seat. And they all gave a case that night to why we should go from Deerfield Police to BSO. I don't know how we got to this point now and it's a lot of people just coming here to this city. So I'm telling you the unique history that happened that night, because I was in the building, and I would like to know anyone else that was in the building that night. So this just shows you, I didn't just start this yesterday. As a 24-year-old, I wasn't out turning up. I was there at that meeting that night. And again, I can remember Amy K. Tanner, the late Amy K. Tanner, getting up, speaking so passionately about that hometown feel that I heard someone get up and say last night about that hometown feel. And it was that night. I don't remember not one Black person getting up speaking against Deerfield going to BSO, because it's been a long storied history here in this community with Deerfield Beach Police and the Black residents here. And I say this, and someone might get mad at the city or whoever, so be it. I mean, I'm a man of integrity, and I'm a man of character, and I'm going to say exactly how I feel. Deerfield Police was not friendly towards us back in the days. And I know people gonna say again, times have changed.
That was 35 years
That
ago.
was 35 years ago. I got articles, and I say again, I'll get the articles. I even put them up. If I would have had time today, I would have pulled those articles where they beat Mr. Moses' brother, Mr. Mo MC Bryant son. They beat him. And all the blacks protested in March. And this was in the early 70s. So that police department was not friendly towards black Americans. And then let's fast forward up to Willie James Junebug McDonald. Let's go to him. Everybody remember what happened to him out at the old West Side Park by former Deerfield Beach police officer Douglas Williams. So it's been a long history of Deerfield police running us off the park. It was no accountability.
Tell them about when they put the guns up to your head, too. Don't forget
Snatched
about
us
that.
out the car one night, coming from the skating ring, talking about someone told them it was a gun, snatched us out, put the guns to our head that night,
Right
cursed
now.
us out. So I hear everybody listening to talking about Sheriff Tony talking and whatever he's cursing. But Donald Trump get on TV and on social media and he curses daily and he talks this same tough talk, but that's strength. But when Tony uses it, it's unprofessional. And I agree, it is unprofessional on Tony Park, but I don't hear too many people saying that about Donald Trump. But let's go back to Deerfield.
Stay on Deerfield.
Okay, let's go back to that. Again, I'm getting out of my vehicle one night. I'm going to my apartment complex where I'm living at. All of a sudden, this police pull up in a car. I'm over in the seat gathering my stuff. I got my gun in a pouch. It's zipped up. Only thing I hear is get your fucking hands up. And he cursed me out. I'll blow your fucking head off. No warning, no nothing. That man could have killed me that night. And I don't want to hear about that was 30 years ago because I lived it. Everybody lived it. My dad, everybody here got stories of the old Deerfield police. So, that agency was not friendly. And that night, and I can still remember that night when he put that Beretta 92 FS to my head. And he told me he'll blow my fucking head off if I moved. And when another officer rolled by, this officer used to see me getting out every night. And he rolled by and he asked, "What are you doing? This guy lives here." And then he tried to make small talk and all of this. I didn't want to hear that. I really didn't. I didn't want to hear it. So people better be very careful talking about going back to the old Deerfield Beach police because, and I'll say this again, I can just remember months ago on that bicycle when that cop hit that young kid on the bicycle. And I didn't hear not one commissioner up there on that dais open their mouth and say nothing. Even our commissioner who represents our district, Vice Mayor Preston, not one person up there opened their mouth and said anything about we're going to look into it or anything. So I'm worrying about going back, and I make no secret about this. I'm not a fan of going back, and I hope they go back to the table and negotiate because people make promises all the time about things going down. But again, we're going to be here to pay for this. I'm going to be here. I'm not going to Colorado. I'm not going to Georgia or North Carolina. I'm going to be here. And everybody last night were talking about their grandkids and I don't want my grandson here 8 years from now or 10 years from now to have to pay for a mistake of going back when we were promised a whole lot 35 years ago. We were promised everything of what happened. So all of that gone, everyone mad now because Tony talking tough now. But Nick Navarro was here, and Nick Navarro was selling crack, manufacturing crack here, beating the hell out of everyone across this county. And I didn't hear no one open their mouth about that back in the days. Everybody was, hurrah, let's get tough on crime. Tony has held his, and he's been on our podcast, so I'm not here carrying his water. Because one thing about me as a black man, anyone that know me, I carry no man water. I'm a man, I'm a self-made man, okay? I'm not no go along to get along type of black man. So what I'm speaking right here is from my heart of living here all my life and seeing what's going on. So everyone better make a very careful decision because, like I say, Sheriff Nick Navarro, manufacturing crack, selling it in our community. His deputies back then were hell. They snatched the video camera out of Darrell's hand, and Al Lamberti was the chief here, and he didn't do anything about it. But even through all of that, what BSO, you never heard us talking about let's go back. Why would we go back? You always hear me say on this podcast about going backwards. I don't believe in going backwards. And me personally, Darrell can say, crunch the numbers. I believe like Mayor Nolan and Vice Mayor Preston said, if we do a study and we find it's long-term, it's feasible, then, hey, make the decision. But I would hope everyone would think very long and hard before they just throw everything out here. BSO
I don't think that they would do that.
BSO is not the best, but they built a perfect relationship. And I saw an article this morning. Someone sent me an article saying that it's not about the sheriff deputies leaving. It's because of who in leadership. And I go back again to when Nick Navarro was here. He went after the 2 Live crew. He went after everyone. And that no one said anything. We didn't talk about this or that. So I say again, I make a plea to every commissioner sitting up there on that dais. Before you make a knee-jerk reaction, think about the long-term implications. Because I don't see, me personally, and I'm not trying to down them, and I'm not trying to down no one in that administration that's doing the hard work or whatever they're doing. But the sheriff department, under everyone that was in there, from Al Lamberti to Butterworth to Navarro to Ron Cochran, who didn't get a chance to see it out. He died. He passed away. Back to Al Lamberti again. To Ken Jin, he was called corrupt. To everyone else, that Scott Israel that came after that. I think everyone did a good job there. No, it's not the best, but they gave us good service and they tried their best, I think, to hold people accountable. And that's all I wanted to say that take a good look before you throw everything out the window here in Deerfield Beach. Take a really hard look at what you're throwing out. You're throwing out a 35-year relationship over what? Over hurt feelings?
But they didn't say that. They didn't come right out and say that they're going back. I know
we can see what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah,
okay.
So,
I'm not gonna sit on here and sugarcoat it because I'm running for office in 2 years. And one thing I'm not gonna do
is
sit here. I'm not gonna because I'm passionate about this. I live here. I invested my time here, regardless of what you sit and make jokes. I live here. I invested my time here. I'm running for office in 2 years, okay? This is no joke or no laughing matter, the decision that we're getting ready to make right now. And you can kind of see where we're going. Look, but you go on, because you want to make jokes, but
that's not a joke. I'm saying what I'm saying is
go on.
The indicators are pointing that in that direction that they're doing that. Yeah.
One thing I'm not gonna do, folks, if you vote for me in 2 years, one thing I'm not gonna do is sit here and go along to get along and sugarcoat nothing. You're gonna come to me and you're gonna get a straight answer. Okay? You're not gonna get no beating around the bush or whatever. You're not gonna get that. And as you can see, whatever my brother talking about, calm down. No, I'm passionate about this city. I'm passionate about this, my home. Okay?
I want you to come up for some air.
No, I know how to come up for air. I didn't do no more than what you saw those commissioners did on that dais last night. They were passionate, and I didn't hear no one tell them to cool down or calm down. I heard people from the audience. This our platform. So I can come on here and be as passionate as I want to be.
Well, what you're seeing now, that's what you're gonna get when he's a commissioner up there. So, and I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing because he is really into this. And this is how he talks when we're not even in front of these cameras. So
I'm like this. I mean,
I was just saying, come up for air, but I know what I know exactly. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at how passionate you are talking about this, because I experienced some of those same incidents with the Deerfield Beach Police Department. Like he said, we were coming just from the skating ring, and we had 357 Magnums put upside our heads in our Aunt George Moore and Maisie Moore front yard. We pulled the car in that yard there, and they called our parents and said, "You can come over here," because they have Wayne, Daryl, and all their friends with guns up to their heads out here. And we were just coming from the skating ring. And, you know, and they cursed us out and everything, you know. And I know that was a long time ago, okay? Don't get me wrong.
And they still do that now. They still curse you out now.
They still cuss you out right now. That was a long time ago, and a lot of people, oh well, you know, that was 35 years ago. But yes, but it happened. Okay, it happened. You don't know how it is to have a 357 and a Glock stuck right up to your head with the hammer back like this here, and in one false move, like they killed Junebug out at Westside Park, you're dead. So don't tell us, no, oh, that was 35 years ago, but you have, if they go back that way, they have a unique opportunity to do something and correct all of those things that we're talking about now. And I hope they go back and they play this podcast back and they take some notes from this podcast and what people here in the Black community are worried about going back to the Deerfield Beach Police Department or the regional police department or whatever way that they may be thinking of going.
Yeah.
Whatever way, I hope they sit down and have discussions with the community, the city, especially over here in the Black neighborhood, because let's just face it, we were treated poorly back in those days. Anybody that grew up here, our family's been here since 1913. We weren't treated the best by the Deerfield Beach Police Department. And we know again, oh, that was a long time ago. Don't hold us. You know, you can't blame us for what happened.
The mindset still stands.
It was still the Deerfield Beach Police Department. So we don't want that same thing to happen again. If they are to form another Deerfield Beach Police Department, please, ma'am, please, sir, whoever is involved, get some input from the community. And to be honest with you, I hope they have a good, I don't care what color the police chief is, as long as he holds his department accountable. Okay? He or she, I don't care who they are.
What about the times when we were kids? We were over there, and you know, people, again, I don't want to hear that talking about that was a long time ago, because I'm here. So I'm history. I'm here. What about the time we were getting money for the Packer Antlers over by Deerfield Middle School? Me, you, and my cousin.
And Publix.
And the police rolled up on us, had whatever, told us, me and you, my cousin, to get back on our side of town, that we don't belong over here. Okay? No, I don't forget that. You know, so people could come on here and, hey, look, whatever, people can feel whatever their way they want to think up there in that administration. I'm not backing down on what I'm saying. I lived here. I lived through my experience. No one can tell me how I should feel. And can you imagine as a kid, as a 12 or 13-year-old kid on a bicycle told to get back on your side of town, get back on your side of the tracks, you don't belong over here? That traumatizes you.
Yeah. And I mean, and we could sit here and we could bring up, you know, things that happened to us in the past, but when things like this happen to you, it stays with you forever. And again, I can remember my mother and I was only about 4 or 5 years old, and my mother had to go over to the bank. There's a bank right where the Chase Bank is, right there on Publix, where the Publix is, where the old McCory's is, there right across from the old fire department there. There was a bank there years ago. And my mother, if you ever walk up and you see my mother, she would tell you the same thing. We were walking there and the traffic light was, where we had to go was literally right there in front of us. We were at the intersection, but it wasn't a red light there at the time. And we had to go at least another maybe 200 yards or so up to the traffic light. And the officer came and told us if we cross that road there, he said, I'm going to take your black ASS to jail. And I was a 4 or 5 year old little boy there. And my mom, she didn't say nothing. And she just said, okay. My mom just held my hand tight. And we had to walk 200-300 yards up to the red light. And he sat there and watched us. And we had to go around 200-300 yards up to that traffic light just to get over, and then before we could come back down south to go to the bank. And he made us do that, and I'll never forget that. As a little child, and my mom will tell you the same story right now today, and this is no lie. So what we're saying here, we're sharing stories with you from that old Deerfield Beach Police Department, because everyone seems to think that that's the way the city is leaning. If that's the way the city is leaning, I hope you do your homework. I hope you crunch the numbers 15 or 20 times, 30 times if you have to, and make sure those numbers are going to be friendly to the taxpayers' pockets.
And not just short term, long term.
Long term.
Because if we're going to be back in this 5 years from now, because we are, let's face it, what former Mayor Nolan said, this is a huge burden. This is a huge burden. You know, it is. And I see Pastor Jackson, I see
Alan
his
Jackson,
comments.
yeah.
Pastor Alan Jackson, he said, Brother Adams, understand that the same thing happened with BSO, the Luca kid that beat up. It's easier to hold a chief of police accountable than it is to hold a sheriff. Yes, it is. But will that happen? I mean, you know, it didn't happen here, Pastor Jackson, 30 years ago when Chief Neal, and I just know a little bit about Chief Neal when he was here, and Chief Roy Vakota. I don't know how much accountability they were held to, okay? Because it was hardly anything. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Share that story about when after they stuck the gun up to your head, and when you went up to the police station, former assistant police chief, Major Robert Jackson.
Yeah,
he was the second in command up there. What did he tell you when you went up to file a complaint?
When they stuck that gun to my head and I went up there to make a complaint, Major Robert Jackson was there. He walked out there and he told me at the old Deerfield Police, he said, Adams, they back there in the back laughing at you. He said, I'm telling you. He said, they're not going to do anything to them. And he was the second highest ranking person to, I believe, Chief William Neal at that time. But he came and told me, he said, they're back there laughing at you in the back. I swear to God, I'll never forget that.
Was it Neal or Vercoda?
It might have been
I think it was Vercoda
by that time. Yeah. I mean, it might have been Roy Vercoda. Yeah. It was one of them.
We were out of school when that happened.
And he said, they're back there in the back laughing at you. I don't forget that. So I understand the comments and whatever worked for people in other places might, but it's Deerfield Beach, like Pompano and other places, is a very unique place.
Yeah.
And all the thing that bothers me about going back is accountability. Okay? Because one thing, whether you like Sheriff Tony or not, he holds his officers accountable. And again, Brown Sheriff is not the best. No, by no means. But I think they have served this community well the last 35 years. So no, I don't want to go back. But hey, I mean, I understand what happened to Luca. All the officers in there got acquitted. They were all acquitted.
Who was Luca? I don't remember.
He was the kid at McDonald's where they were beating him. Got him down there, and they were beating him.
Did that happen in Tamarack or somewhere?
Yeah, around Tamarack.
Oh, okay,
and every officer in there got acquitted, and the officers were. I know one of them was brought back and
slammed his head on the ground. Was that
pushed
him?
his head down.
Oh yeah. I remember.
So that was in Tamarack. I mean, if Tamarack police had been there, probably nothing would have happened either. I mean, at least they did bring these officers up on charges. I mean, yeah, they were, the judge, I believe, threw it out, and I think one was acquitted. But we got a bigger problem out there. So yeah, I understand about the chief can be held accountable, but is that gonna happen? I'm not saying no one up there not gonna let it happen, but it was. I mean, we lived that. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no one accountable 35 years ago. I didn't see it. So that
we're gonna have a unique opportunity to, if they go back in that direction, and it looks to like that to everybody that has common sense. That it kind of looks like the city of Deerfield Beach is leaning towards possibly going back to their own police or regional. With the comment that Ms. Terra Porter called in and said we have options with our neighboring cities. So you have to just go back and just look at the tape from the video on YouTube of last night commission meetings, and you could just listen to the language. And when they're reading off these ordinances, I just read off this ordinance here about the Florida retirement from the Florida retirement. It's right here in the ordinance right here. It's right here about police officers in the FRS. So again, the signs are pointing towards Deerfield Beach, leaning towards their own police department or regional police department. And if that's the case, that's okay. I just want them to look at the numbers and take a long, hard look. I don't care if you got to stay up for 5 weeks at a time and you don't get any sleep. That's what you took the oath of office for. You put to uphold the Constitution and to look out for our taxes. More important. So,
and they're gonna do whatever they want to do.
They're gonna do whatever they want to. They're gonna do.
I mean, that's what they're gonna do. Whoever they get, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay because, I mean,
when you get elected, you'll come in on the backside of this when you're elected, though.
I'm not gonna tolerate no misconduct here. If I have to be the only voice up there, I don't care who is the police chief or whoever. I'm not gonna tolerate misconduct here by officers. I wouldn't go for it now. So I certainly wouldn't go for it if we have our own regional people here or not. That's why I say look, do your study. Again,
that's all we ever said.
Do the study, and if it comes back in favor, I'll support whatever. I might not like it, but I'll support it. But I don't want to hear 7 or 8 years down the road where costs are astronomical, people losing their houses here, and the police are upset again, and we be right back to where we are right now again, because that's what I think is actually gonna happen down the road.
2 or 3 police officers, retired police officers in the chat right now. Pastor Alan Jackson is a retired police officer, and Miss Wilson, and it might be some more in there that I didn't see. All retired law enforcement. So I mean, and lived here in Deerfield. So we've seen it, and they know the history. We've seen it. So whatever way the city of Deerfield Beach is going to go, they're
gonna do what they want to do.
I'm gonna support you as long as it supports. It's friendly to my pockets. I hope you stay with BSO, but if you can't come to a conclusion with them or come to an agreement with them, then and only then, I hope if you go towards your own police or regional, then I hope you look at the numbers 15 or 20 times before you make a decision. And that's all I have to say on that there.
Yeah, and Mr. Slattery said we need to get a city manager who lives and pays taxes in Deerfield Beach, who is willing to do a study and not making emotional decisions about something too important and expensive.
That's true. The city manager it was required that the city manager lived in Deerfield Beach. I don't know. I think they changed that for Burgess Hanson, if I'm not mistaken. They changed it for him, and Burgess was allowed to go move up in Palm Beach County somewhere. But when Larry Deason was here, I know for a fact, and I believe Mike Mahaney,
they all lived.
They all were required to live right here in the city of Deerfield Beach. I'm not sure exactly when that was changed, but they need to change it back. I think the city manager should live here in the city. That's just my own personal opinion.
Pastor Alan Jackson says the city can control the budget more when it's not BSO. Well,
that's true.
We're definitely gonna we're here. We're gonna see. I mean, I just hope it don't come back to bite us. I mean, the people here already complaining about their taxes. The tax is going to go up. I mean, I understand that, but but I can see here in 5, 6, 7 years, I can see us right back here, police out there protesting, not getting paid, and I can see us right back here where we started at. I just think, look, a lot of people don't like Tony, and that's cool. Look, feelings not facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jelly Roll said, "What do you mean by regional?" Jelly Roll, what I mean, what they're saying when they say regional police department, regional, when they're saying regional, that means that they could partner up with, and I'm just using this as an example. Now, I'm not saying this is what they're doing. This is only an example. They may partner up with Boca, or they may partner up with Coconut Creek, or they may partner up with Hillsborough Beach over there, on that little city that's only a mile long, or they may partner up with the city of Pompano and Lighthouse Point. They may combine all those police departments and call it a regional police department.
And that might work.
And that might work.
I don't know. Again, I would like for us to be able to keep our relationship that we have with the sheriff. But if it don't go, I'm going to be okay. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to change my life. I'm not going to be angry, mad, upset, calling this person corrupt or this or that. I'm going to go on with my life and not going to think anything about it. But when something come up, I'm going to be right there to say, this is what we talked about. I'm going to be right there to say that. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is.
We hope you all enjoyed this podcast, man. We've been talking very passionately here on this podcast. We always do. And again, I wasn't laughing at my brother. I was like, man, you better come up for some air, because he was getting cool. Into it,
No, I'm cool. When I say this all the time. When I'm behind this mic, I'm as again, why when you don't see too many people passionate about their city. You need more people. And I think most people in the chat passionate about wherever they live at.
Yeah.
You need more people passionate. Okay. I mean, this is what we need, but I mean, moving forward, all I ask, like the Mayor Drosky said, we're going to have more discussions. Let's have more discussions. Public discussions. Yes, public discussions with the public. I'll be right there every step of the way. And if you do go back and show the savings, I'll be right there. I'm not going to talk down on it. This is my city. I don't believe in building an organization just trying to tear it down. I go back to revert to the Deerfield Packarellas, regardless of how or who was running it. I would never tear nothing down. I'm not here to tear down. I'm here to build up. So whatever the city decides, I'm going to be here to support it. I didn't say I'm going to like it. I say I'm going to be right here to support it. That's how that is me. I see you, Bill Lindsay.
Big Bill Lindsay. Hey, Big Bill Lindsay. We used to work together at the city of Deerfield Beach in environmental services in the water department, man. Big Bill. We worked a lot of days out there, man. He paid taxes a lot of nights, man. Big Bill Lindsay, man. Good guy, man. Really good guy, man.
Keyword public, Lawanda.
Yeah, good guy. Nice to see you in the chat there, Big Bill Lindsay. Hey guys, thank you. We've been on here since 5 o'clock. It's 8
and
o'clock.
I want to say one other thing.
Go ahead before we wrap
Y'all
up.
remember, they're having former mayor and commissioner Peggy Nolan's dedication at the aquatic center at the Deerfield Middle.
Please,
everyone, please come out and support that. Support Mayor Nolan. She is very deserving of that honor that has been bestowed to her by the city. I don't know who sponsored it. Might have been former Mayor Bill Gans, but she's deserving for all her work that she's done. I hope to see everyone over there. I'll be there. I'm quite sure. I know me and my dad will be there. We'll be there Saturday. I believe it's at 10 o'clock. But everyone, come on out and support former Mayor Nolan. And she made very much sense. Again, go back and listen to her comments that she made last night. She was a voice of reason last night. And her and her daughter, Liz, they've been good to They've been good to us.
And we're
So
gonna
come
put
on
the
out.
flyer. We're gonna put
Come
the
on out.
flyer up on our page. So please go out and support former Mayor Peggy Nolan and her family. Her name deserves to be up on that pool over there.
The aquatic, whatever that is over there. Yeah.
Yes. Very nice lady. I love Mayor Peggy Nolan. She always joke with me and us every time she sees us.
she come give us a hug.
Yeah,
so
she always give us a
tell
hug.
us we're doing a great job. And I
So-
hope everybody in the chat, we're passionate, but we love this city. It's nothing never
That's
personal.
all it is.
It's,
nothing but
trust me,
love.
it's never
Yeah.
personal. I can sit here and say before I go off, and I wanted to say, I don't hate no one. No one. I can disagree with you. Some people in the past got me pretty close, but God changed me. When I say that with every ounce of humanity that I say. God has changed my heart on a lot of things. And again, we love everyone that was in the chat. Again, don't take anything wrong that we said. I think our commissioners do an excellent job, regardless of what anyone might think. They're under a lot of pressure.
Yes, they are.
The city manager, I look, Mr. Brimlow, City Manager Brimlow has been very nice to me and my brother.
Nice guy, very nice guy.
Sheriff Tony, whether people like him or Brimlow
He's
or not,
been very nice
has
to
been
us.
very nice. Me and Daryl, look, we sit up here from a whole different view. It's never personal.
We're neutral
with us.
all the time
It's
with everybody.
never personal. I'm not getting off of here, however I might think. But that's all I wanted to say. Hey, I just want Deerfield to thrive. We got Deerfield future is bright. We got a lot of programs, things that we want here in this city.
Yeah.
I mean, that I would like to see a new police station, regardless of who occupies it. You didn't miss much, Mr.
Danhurst, we've been on here for about 3
Pioneer
hours now.
Grove. You got a lot of projects, an amphitheater. It's so much promise here in Deerfield Beach, Dixie Highway. It's so much here for this city here. This city is thriving, and I just want everyone. I saw that earlier. Our cousin Dolene Moore, aka Bebe, said, "Get on one accord," and I think that this city can do that. God bless everyone out there in the chat. I love everyone
you
that's in the
guys.
chat. Everyone
Big
out there.
Bill,
Dan
Lindsay.
Hurst, Keith Williams, Miss Williams, Bill, LaWanda Peck, everyone, Jelly Roll, Janet Man Gardner, Tara Portier, everyone that was in the chat. Mr. Wesley, everyone that was in the chat. Thank y'all for joining us. We've been to jump on and join Tony Sands and Calandra Sands.
Is that tonight or tomorrow?
No, that's tonight. They're having their sports talk tonight on Facebook. So that's what we're
If
gonna
you
do.
missed it, if you missed the beginning of this pop-up podcast, you're gonna have to go back and watch the playback because we've been on here since 5 o'clock. We've been getting ready for this since 4. So it's 4 hours later, and we're still here trying to educate you guys and help you guys any way we can. Thank you all for rocking with us. Thank you all for rocking with the Adams Brothers podcast. We love you all, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do about it because we're here and we'll fight for Deerfield Beach to our last breath. Thank you all for watching. Good night, everybody, and thank you for rocking with the Adams Brothers podcast. Good night.